Reggaeton is a music style known for its hard-hitting drums, bouncy rhythms, and Spanish vocals. As the name suggests, reggaeton has roots in reggae, which turned into dancehall, which later turned into reggaeton in Puerto Rico. These past years, there's been a shift in tone with artists like Bad Bunny, Balvin Karol G, and many more, with a moodier, more trap-influenced take on the genre. In this video, I'll take you through the process of making a dark and modern reggaeton beat yourself. You can open up the project we'll be working on today for free by clicking the link in the description. Let's get started. To begin, set the tempo. In this modern reggaeton style, the tempo typically ranges between 80 and 100 BPM. Let's choose a middle ground tempo of 90 BPM. You can use the beat maker to create the drum pattern. Go to beats and search for reggaeton. Let's see what this one sounds like. Drag it into your project and double click the clip to open the beat maker. It comes with a preloaded beat pattern, but click on Clear Pattern to start from scratch. Reggaeton features a rhythm called the dembow rhythm, derived from the song Dembow by Shabba Ranks.
Dembow, 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 dembow. On the table, me say that dembow.
The dembow rhythm is at the heart of it a tresillo rhythm. Let's add a tresillo rhythm using a formula that groups the beats into 3 plus 3 plus 2. I'll use the conga sound as an example. Add a block at the start of every group. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Then simply repeat this pattern. Alternatively, you can think of it as 2 dotted 8 notes followed by a regular 8th note. The kick plays a 4 to the 4 beat, and the snare plays the rest of the tresillo rhythm that the kick isn't already playing. If you remove the conga now, you're left with a basic reggaeton drum pattern. To add some more high frequencies, you can add hi-hats following the same pattern, but that's optional. You can also enhance the drum pattern with additional Latin percussion instruments. In this beatmaker kit, we have timbales, güiros, and congas. Let's add some timbales. Once you're satisfied with the first drum pattern, hold Option or Alt and drag the clip to duplicate it. Or mark the clip and use the super shortcut Ctrl D. In the new clip, you can change it up for some variation. For example, removing the timbales and adding some congas instead. You can activate the velocity and change the volume of the individual blocks to get more of a human feel. If you want to further enhance the drum section, you can incorporate percussion loops. Go to the sound library, click on Loops and Samples, open the filter, and choose Latin, World, and Percussion. Browse through the available options and select a suitable loop, such as additional timbales. The loop will automatically stretch to the tempo of the project. If it doesn't, right-click on it and make sure Auto Stretch is enabled. Since this loop doesn't have any tonality, you can change the stretch mode to pitch stretch to retain a higher quality. Adjust its position and trim it as needed. And open up the bottom panel to add some effects to blend it into the mix and create the desired ambiance. A reverb and filter in this case. Adjust it to taste. Add some more percussion samples if you want, and don't forget to adjust the levels along the way. Add a break to interrupt the repetitiveness of the drums by removing the drum blocks where it makes sense. The chords play a crucial role in setting the tone of the beat. While you can make your own chord progression, the Soundation library does feature a lot of chord progressions that you can make use of. In the MIDI melodies and chords section, search for basic chords and explore different options. For a dark and moody vibe, stick to a minor key. A simple 4-chord progression is standard, but fewer chords can work just as well. The most common chord progression in modern reggaeton can be found in Basic Chords 75. Drag your chosen progression into the project and double-click on the clip to open it. This progression is a 6-4-1-7 progression in the key of A minor. It consists of the chords F major, D minor, A minor, and G major. Another variation of this progression removes the second chord and doubles the length of the first chord. If you're looking for a 2-chord progression, Basic Chords 42 has one that is very common for reggaeton, which is basically just the last 2 chords of this progression. For better voice leading and smoother transitions between chords, you can move some of the notes within the chords up or down 1 octave. Select the notes, hold Shift, and use the arrow keys to make the adjustments. Now let's switch out the sound for the chords. While traditional Latin instruments are still being used in some reggaeton tracks, synths are more common in modern reggaeton. Look for dark and moody pads, keys, or plucks in the instrument presets section. To fill out the background, search for pad and find a fitting sound. Drag the chosen preset onto the chords channel to replace the sound. To add some movement to the pad, go to the bottom panel and add the fakie effect. Adjust the depth parameter to your liking. This effect will also make the kick drum sound more pronounced because the pad is ducking down at the same time. Now let's create some rhythmic chords. Right-click on the channel and choose Clone Channel and Content to create a new channel with the same chords. For this new channel, find a pluck preset. Drag the preset onto the channel and open the note clip. Move the notes to a different voicing to add variation. Remove the bass notes and shorten the duration of the notes. Feel free to experiment with a rhythm, but you can't go wrong using a classic skank rhythm. This rhythm involves playing the chords on the off beats, similar to a 4 to the floor pattern, but delayed. Select all the notes, hold Option or Alt, and drag them to duplicate them. Then select all notes and move them 1/8 note to the right with the arrow keys to create the skank rhythm. You can also layer the pluck with another sound for added depth. Right-click on the channel and clone it. Find a different sound, such as a kalimba or another organic instrument to pair with the synth, and pan the 2 layers to the left and right to create a wider stereo image. Now it's time to add a fat bass line to your reggaeton beat. Since the bass notes are already present in the original chord progression, clone the chord channel once again. In the instrument preset section, search for a suitable bass sound, such as a sub bass, an 808 bass, or a Reese bass. Drag the chosen bass sound onto the new channel to replace the sound. Open the note clip for the bass channel and remove all the notes except for the bass notes. If necessary, adjust the octave of the bass note to ensure it sits well in the mix. To make the bass line more dynamic, add the fakie effect to the bass channel and adjust the parameters to create a pumping effect. For an extra touch of spice, you can layer the bass with brass during the chorus, inspired by the song Dakiti by Bad Bunny and Jay Cortez. Clone the bass channel once again, and this time search for a brass sound in the instrument presets section. Select the suitable brass sound, such as the distorted brass preset, and drag it onto the new channel. And adjust the octave if need be. Time to add a catchy melody to your reggaeton beat. Clone the chords channel once again to create a new channel for the melody. In the instrument preset section, search for what sound you want, such as a dark synth key sound. Drag it onto the melody channel to switch out the sound, then open the note clip. The reason for cloning the chords channel once again is that it can serve as a guide for creating the melody. Keep the melody simple and closely tied to the chord progression, similar to an arpeggio. This will ensure that it supports and enhances the lead vocals sung over the beat. Experiment with different note combinations and rhythms, referencing the chord notes as a basis. Keep in mind that the focus in reggaeton is primarily on the vocals, so the melodic elements should not overpower or distract from the lead vocal. Take some time to fine-tune the melody and ensure that it sits well within the mix of your beat. And there you have it. Congratulations on creating a modern reggaeton beat. All you need to do now is arrange this beat into a full song and get some Spanish vocals on top. Remember to keep exploring different approaches to making reggaeton music. Listen to your artists for inspiration and techniques, and don't be afraid to experiment and let your own personal taste guide you on the way. You can hop straight into this project in your browser instantly for free in the description and turn this into a full song. And if you know Spanish, why don't you try to lay down some vocals on it too? We would love to hear your creations. If you found this video tutorial helpful, please like, comment, subscribe for more music production content. Thank you. Until next time, hasta luego.